Good evening.
Everyone in the house.
Yeah.
Yes. As you earlier mentioned, my name is Dr. Sunday Jones Obaseki, the head of competition department, Nigerian Premier Football League. Hello, hello, I hope you're hearing me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I'm the head of competition department, Nigerian Premier Football League.
Oh, good. Great.
Yes.
Okay, I think we'll come back to you. Let's go over to Coach Guards. Over to you, Coach. You can unmute yourself, Coach.
Hello, viewers. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Coach Gad Onumebu. I coach athletics. In other words, I coach track and field. I've been a coach for over 3 decades. And I've coached at all levels, like you rightly explained. I'm still coaching. It is my pleasure to share my knowledge to a lot of people who care about athletics, who want to be part of this great family. As time goes on, I'll be able to say more.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Sunday, we talked about football, soccer, as it's called in other clients. Also talk about coaching in soccer. Can you tell us, give us a brief overview of what it takes? What stands on the way of a young boy, a young girl, or parents whose children really want to go into soccer? What advice do you have for them generally?
Yes, thank you very much. As you are aware, football is a team sport, and it has to do with talent that you have to nurture, you develop the talents. And then for you to go into, say, football, those that call it soccer, well, we basically see it as football game. It's a game, and it's a team sport. It involves other individuals, a collective effort put together to achieve a goal, to win a particular match. But for the young lad who intend to go into footballing as a professional career, you have to pass through the various cadres, the various stages of footballing. Either you are in an academy, to develop your skills, to build your skills, and you further from such an academy, you can go into any of the professional youth team, which we refer to as the sporting criteria, a youth developmental programs of a professional league club side. From thereafter, from a minor, you can develop to become a professional player. If you are talented and you wish to go into to become a professional footballer, but at the moment it's a stage, a process you have to pass through. You must be talented, you must be gifted, your talent has to be nurtured, not in your individual training, but in a football club. A football club where you have to work, function, train with other footballers. That's it's a team sport. Yes, it's a process. And then as it's a process, you have to go through the various training, physical trainings, exercise, fitness level, your nutrition. It's a contact sport. You must be physically and mentally fit for you to go into football. That is a team sport with others. It is very important. Mental, physically, and otherwise, you must be ready to be groomed from the minor to the professional career of playing football. As you are aware, football is a big business. A footballer has a career, either minor or professional, but it has to grow from that minor to become into professional career. It's a process. And as you are aware, for you to nurture or develop your skills, you must be in an academy whereby you are being nurtured, you are being trained by a tutor, a coach. Somebody have to give you a scorecard, have to assess your performance in relation to other of your teammates. You have to be assessed. Yes. I hope the volume is not, yes.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We can hear you. Just go ahead.
You can hear me very well. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
As I earlier said, as a footballer or a footballer, when you are in an academy, a football academy, in club licensing regulation, it is called the sporting criteria. Whether an academy or a Premier League club, let me give an example for in Nigeria. Let me give an example in Nigeria, say like Academy Warriors of Meduguri. There's what they call every professional club side has a youth team, under 12, under 15, under 17. Thereafter, it metamorphosed to become to the senior main team. Anybody that intends to play professional football in Nigeria, you have to go into an academy football. Every state football, let me give an instance in Nigeria. In the 36 states, including Abuja, we have what we call State Football Association. You have to ensure that that academy is registered with the State Football Association, so that when they are playing any competition, you have to be registered in the team. And for your information, an individual does not own a player. A player is owned by a football club or a football academy. No individual owns a player, no. You must belong to a football club. There you have to be registered for a competition recognized by the State Football Association, so that whenever you move from that particular academy, you are known that you play for so and so football club academy. In case of when you progress in your career, there is a link to your mother home, your first club you played for. Every stage you play any organized competition, the state has to be recognized by a State Football Association. And such competition is domiciled with the Nigerian Football Association, now known as Nigerian Football Federation. It's a process that a potential player has to pass through and has to be tutored, has to be given the record, the scorecard by that football academy. Whether is a good player or not, a player with a career. When the talent is spotted, if it is not nurtured, it's very difficult. And no nurture a talent is in the football club. That's why a football club is very important. FIFA does not joke with a football club. They see every player identified with a football club, not individual player. There's an erroneous impression that individual owns a player. No, FIFA do not cascade to that. FIFA is against it. Nigerian Football Association is against it. It must be a football club or a football academy, as the case may be. And a football academy and a football club, there are two different things entirely. An academy can be to nurture a player when they exceed 18, they're no longer minor. A minor can be domiciled in an academy. Once it becomes 18, at that level, they're no longer an academy. And once they enter any contract with any of the amateur league, they sign a contract, they become a professional player. Their status change. It grows from minor, goes to contract. It becomes a professional player because you have been engaged in a contract. there's a progression. He wants to go into a professional career in playing his football, in playing his football. It is important that we know this, and this has grown from stage to stage. Likewise, other sports. But for today, we are focusing on football now, football, soccer. How will we ensure that, yes, it progresses, it develops, it grooms? It's a process that an individual that who intend to play a football or wants to play football, wants to go to the football business, he must understand this. And besides, to go into the business of football, you have to register your football club also as a business, so that you can be able to trade your player, move a player from one place to the other team. Because people may request, other club may have interest in your player, in your assets. People could be interested. They don't do a business with you. They have interest in your player. They have identified a talent in your team. Your team has to be registered with the corporate affairs committee. You can do business with other football club or professional clubs that they have spotted the talent in your team. That's why football is a big business. It's a big business that is still on the refining process in Africa. But in Europe, they have they are almost arrived. They are almost there. But in Nigeria, especially, it's still the process. It's still a crude oil. It's still being refined. It's a process. And the Nigerian Football Federation has given that leverage, that conducive atmosphere for Premier League club for all football academy to be registered, to be licensed by Nigerian Football Federation. And once you are licensed, you can do the business of football and ensure the academy is registered with the State Football Association where it is domiciled, and go into competitive competition recognized by the State Football Association where the academy is domiciled. Is very important because of the assets you possess. Your players, your asset of any club are your players. Yes, it's very important that we redefine the process. It's a redefining moment in Nigerian football. It's a big business, and then those that goes into it see it from the business perspective. That's why in Nigeria, let me give an instance. In Nigeria, over 98% of the clubs is owned by government. It's owned by the government, but there is a departure from that narrative with the leadership of Nigerian Football Federation, that football must be perceived as a business. The Premier League clubs, the amateur, the national leagues must be seen as a business. That's why we are here, giving it a light, a redefining moment for all to know that football in Nigeria is a big business, that those that intend to go into it is not a civil service job of a team. No, it's a big business and there is big money in it, as identified by FIFA, CAF, even Nigerian Football Federation. There's a departure from the earlier narrative in the past that is our own. No, it's a big business. It's a community. There's a narrative that yes, even an academic, the community, host community can be part of the academy. Yes. Individual can come up with a community initiative. Yes. In the developed client, is community-wise. People participate in it, people buy shares in it. Let me give you an instance, like, it's a big, like, let me give you an instance, like Shooting Star Sport Club. It's a big brand. Rangers, they are brands. And people can collectively buy shares into Rangers. That's why there's The PPP is coming up into football in Nigeria, which will be implemented by the leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation. That yes, private individuals have to now buy shares and invest their money into football. And today, as you are aware, look at the EPL, the high-profile leagues all over the world. It's booming. Players are moving from point A to point B in millions of dollars for their transfer, for their movements, is because the perspective, the environmental influences provided by the federation, see it from a business orientation perspective. That is where that is where the Nigerian Football Federation has embraced now at the moment, that football has to embrace public-private partnership to give it the greater light.
Thank you.
Acceptability.
Wow, that is fully loaded, almost becoming an overdose. In just less than how many minutes we've been bombarded with so much information that takes a lifetime to gather. Thank you, Dr. Sonny Johnson Obaseki, for the load of information you just poured on us. In fact, it will take us a full week to digest and start imbibing and implementing. I want to believe that this is just the beginning of this program. As time goes on, we'll be going towards the business angle of this training. But like I said, this is the first time we're having this training, and by God's grace, it's going to explode further than this the next time we're having the next class. Mr. Sunday Obaseki, Dr. Sunday Obaseki, we'll come back to you. Let's move over to Coach Gard. Yes, Coach Gard, athletics is one sport in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, in Africa generally, particularly in Nigeria, where people don't seem to give too much attention to, like football or soccer. Is Coach Gard there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So we would like to hear from you a little about athletics, why people should go into athletics, for parents, why they need to encourage their children to go into athletics. What are the signs the parents will see in the children and they say, oh, you need to go into athletics? Then what are the areas and steps that the children or parents or students or school need to take to encourage the child to start from the stage of infancy or whatever, then to become a professional? Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Athletics, in other words, track and field, as it's probably called, is one sport that involves many events. We can say it's the mother of all sports. People walk from one point to another. At times, when you see something dangerous and you have a stone around you, you want to stone that object. That's part of sports. At times, something is pursuing you, you want to run away from that animal pursuing you so that that animal doesn't catch you. That's kind of sports. At times, you want to kill something, and that will involve using a pointed object. In other words, we say you're using a spear or javelin. That's a kind of sport. So what I want to say here is that athletics involves so many events and is so grouped depending on the areas, on various areas. It is called track and field because some of the events are done on the track. Some involve running or walking, either indoors or outdoors at the road as much as possible. Some of them involve jumping, either jumping for height or for distance. Some of them involve throwing, like I already said, when I was trying to tell you about somebody running out, wanting to pursue an object that wants to attack him or her. So you have to throw. So throwing is also an aspect of athletics. Walking is part of it, as case may be. So by the time we go into other areas, I'll be able to explain to our students all these various areas. I would want to say that the benefits are so many. Benefits to athletes, who are the real people participating in athletics. Benefit to parents, benefit to everybody who want to keep fit. That's why I said athletics is one sport that may involve as many persons as possible, but professionally, for us to discover any athlete, there's a particular scientific language we use, what's called semotype. Like I told you, it involves running, it involves jumping, it involves throwing. The semotype talks about the human body. So for an individual to be involved in a particular sport, that will be dependent on how God has created that person. What gifts has God endowed in that person? Some people are round in shape, some people are slim, some people are muscular. I don't want to go into explaining what I mean by semotype, but somebody chooses sports, especially professionally, based on these three areas. Whether the person is mesomorphic, whether the person is endomorphic, or whether the person is ectomorphic. Ecto has to do with somebody who's a bit skeletal, who is tiny. Endomorphs are those who are roundish in shape, while mesomorphs are those who are a bit muscular. They may not be too roundish, but they may be endowed with strong muscles. Also, for somebody to choose athletics, that will be dependent also on, one, the geographical location where he comes from, two, the type of blood system he has naturally. That's what we call those who have fast twitch and slow twitch. There are people who can run very fast, depending on the type of blood they have. There are people who can throw. There are people who can move very slowly but still get to their distance they want to cover. So this will be explained when we get to the classes. So choosing a particular sport, a particular event in athletics will be dependent so much on God-given ability to that person. I've talked about the benefit when it comes to health-wise. That's why everybody wants to do sports. Walking, the old man, the young man, everybody wants to walk, especially these days. Yeah, there are too much diseases and problems. You see, everybody wants to take some little jogging, some little walk, maybe from one point to another. Nobody wants to be too sedentary. So that's a benefit of sports, of athletics. It may not be professional as the case may be, but the gains are there that if you take a walk from one point to another, you are gaining. You're exercising the systems, the lungs, and the heart. If you want to go to an area and move very fast, to get there very, very fast, from one point to the other, you run very fast, you move very fast, you move your limbs very fast. And then, of course, in athletics, it involves the use of the limbs, what we call the upper limbs and the lower limbs, your hands, your legs. But then the benefits are so many. You know, we're talking about either being professional or just doing it as a recreation. Professionally, it creates jobs. So these athletes, the athletes that have excelled after going through this process of training, what we call pedagogy, when they begin to excel, someone was talking about in football, he was talking about getting jobs. And of course, you can't avoid the age groups. But then there are people who are from poor parentage who can use sports to help them. What do I mean by this? You can get a scholarship through that if you excel very well. Instead of your parents paying school fees, you can if you begin to do very well, any school that's admitting you may want to issue you scholarship. You attend school free without disturbing your parents giving you money to pay school fees. You can also gain by each time you attend competitions, the little stipend they will give to you is not payment per se, little allowance that can help you also when you go back to school, that can help you buy soap, beverages. I know some parents who are very, very poor, whom their children or their students, or in fact their wards have helped by getting little money back home for them to buy a little food. There are examples like that. Of course, students can also use it to gain, when you talk about getting the best schools. If you are doing very great in athletics, schools will look for you. If you know the number of students who are schooling in America on scholarship or other areas of the world, it will baffle you. These schools look after them. Well, once they see your results, they see your profile, they'll go after you. They ask for you, they pay for your transport, they pay for your ticket and bring you down to America or other schools. Most of the big schools we have here in Nigeria also, they admit students based on their prowess in sports, especially in athletics. The jobs, it creates jobs per se, when it comes to, when you're talking about the elite class of athletes. The elite class compete for money, big money. People may not know. Once you enter into the circuit, you go for money. It could be accruing, they may not pay immediately, but it could be accruing at the end of the competition as or classic. You get a big money from it. Then the coaches themselves who are training you also is a way of making getting jobs. Athletics is a big business. But do you know that politically it gives countries fame? United States is known for athletics. Nigeria is known for athletics. Most countries are known for athletics, not only football, but athletics. Countries make some good name from it. It also helps in uniting countries, uniting people. People go to, you have what's called intercollegiate, go to different meets, you meet people of different areas, different religion, different background, different language. It helps. I wouldn't want to go so much into those areas, but then religiously also, it goes across religion. In some areas in the past, people compete with, what do you call it, this thing they wear, overall, is it pajamas, not pajamas, what do they call it? People can compete with it. There's no segregation as far as athletics is concerned. But the point is that you must appear in it. You must wear something that can give you freedom for you to move economically. I want to say that athletics is such a sport where many people do it. Someone was talking about team games. There's also some teamwork in athletics, especially when it comes to relay. And this the synergy of athletics, relays, where a team of 4 persons compete at a time. So it may not be individually done per se. Some events are done in a group, like you have also in football. In athletics, the group of guys is the relay team. So athletics is such a wonderful sport. But I want to say here that there are federations that man all the sports. In fact, it starts from the international body, the IOC, the continental bodies, the national bodies, which I will mention by the time we get into class, different bodies that are in charge of athletics at different and various levels. That That's the little I can say for now, until you give me another chance to talk. Are you there with me?
Hello.
Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Do I go on? But that's the little I can, just a kind of a brief on athletics.
Thank you. Okay. I think so far so good. I don't think there's anybody here that lacks information on these two sports, athletics and soccer or football. The experts in these two areas have done justice to everything we need to know. Sir, in just 5 minutes or 3 minutes, can you give us a word of advice for those that want to go into athletics coaching, or advice on how they can go into just 3 minutes? Because there are a lot of people that have been in athletics, but after that, they don't even know what next to do with their career. But coaching could have been another opportunity for them. Just give a word of advice on how they can go about it.
All right. Coaches are, in simple language, those who have done this for the particular sport before and are retired and are making living out of it. And this will be dependent on how much knowledge you have about the sports you think you have done very well, and how much can impact the knowledge to the younger ones who want to take it as professions, or want to take it as a career, as case may be. A coach who wants to come into coaching must have adequate knowledge about it, and there are a lot of chances for people to progress. Even though you must have to coach according to your ability, of course you have to coach what you know. But I want to implore those who want to come into coaching, one, to diversify, trying to know much about the event they want to coach. You cannot be Jackie unless you have done much about reading, studying, doing some research about other areas. But that area you know very well, which you did, or which you have done in competition days, you try to add some knowledge into it by going to school. As soon as you go to school and come back, you get a job. There are many coaches, many coaches. I want to implore those who are also looking for a job, in coaching job, to apply to different departments, different sports councils, different clubs, different countries. Definitely you get a job. And then, of course, you must have track record. So I want to employ people to do that. Then for the athletes should also aspire to win as many laurels as possible. Choose a particular event where you have the technical know-how, where you have all the innate abilities to perform. As you do that, clubs will look for you, schools will look for you, countries will look for you. People nationalize in other countries. If you feel that you are good enough to go to another country, you go there, and then maybe there are one or two barriers you have at home that may hinder you, you can nationalize in another country. But I'm not saying it's the best. But if that is the best scenario, the best thing you can do, you nationalize. You find out that people change nationality through athletics. It doesn't mean that they will not come back home. They will definitely come home. So I advise people to take athletics serious. Thank you. Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm around. Thank you.
Does that
very
make
much.
sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Dr. Sonny Maseki. Dr. Sonny, are you around? Okay, let me unmute you. Okay, Dr. Sonny, okay. Please, in just 3 minutes, you will tell us about those who aspire to become football coaches, what advice do you have for them? And what is your line of action that you recommend for them?
Thank you very much. For those that aspire to become a coach, a football coach, it is imperative that you have the basic qualification. National Institute of Sports. That's a minimum requirement for a coach for you to possess. Once you have such a qualification, you can as well, you can be employed by a professional club side, by an amateur team, by a Premier Football Club side. Yes, at that level, have that basic. Thereafter, you advance further to have CAF B, CAF A, UEFA A, or to the extent of having to becoming a FIFA Pro licensed coach or becoming a badge coach, like as a winger. But the fact is that you must have a basic qualification. National Institute is the minimum requirement to be a coach. So you'll be able to sit in the technical bench of a national league team, not a Premier League team this time around, because at the Premier League level, in the Premiership level, MPFA, you are required to have a CAF C license to be on a technical bench. It's a big business. But once you are a coach of Premier League club side, it's a big business. You are exposed. Thereafter, you can, if your team happens to play in the continent, like in CAF Confederation Cup, just Rivers United, they lost the quarterfinal second match. If you don't possess a CAF C, you cannot be in the technical bench of such a team. It's imperative that you keep developing yourself, aspiring higher. From that football academy, let me tell you, you can become the Mondial Digi of Bender Insurance today, who have a UEFA A license. You can groom it. Get your passion, be passionate about it. Because football is passion. It grows. It grows. If you don't have the passion, it is difficult. Mind you, it's cost effective. It requires that passion. You have to groom your passion for it. Once you get there, you can go on the hierarchy or even become a national team coach at that level. If you can spot talent, nurture talent, develop talent, you'll be identified with your teams, with the talent you have in your football club or academy. You will definitely get an invitation from the national team. It's from the technical department of the Nigerian Football Federation, because you have imparted, you have discovered talent. Your state will definitely give a recommendation for you. Your state football association, wherever you are in Nigeria, it's a big opportunity to become a coach. Love it, give it attention, and you go for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sunday. In fact, I think we've really gotten more than we asked for. In fact, we have been given more than enough dose of what we demanded for. Quickly, we'll just take two questions, one for athletics, one for football, if any. But if there's none, we're wrapping up this program for tonight so that we can go and prepare for the next day. Olayinka, I don't know, do you have a question, Olayinka Alagbe?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Olayinka Alagbe.
Yeah.
I have two mentions. First of all, I want to appreciate La Plage Metaverse,
Thank you.
our collaborators for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
I just want to mention, or rather, it's a mention and then also a question. I understand we are focusing on, people who want to be trainers in this case. That's either in the football or in athletics.
Yes.
We want to also, the mention of other professions that are involved. For instance, in football, you know, you have the linesmen, the referees and assistant referees, as they are called now. They are also, what do you call it? Those other members of the team.
The value chain.
Yes, of the team who are not actually footballers or athletes, and they are not coaches as well. Should would a little more light be thrown on those aspects and because you'll be surprised that there are people who aspire for such what do you call it, roles and functions as well. If a little guide, just briefly, could be given in those respects.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olayinka. Yeah, you raised a very serious and important point. Like I said earlier, this is the first training we'll be having in this area, and fully the next one will be more encompassing, that will be taking into account various areas of the sporting world. But I think Mr. Sunday, Dr. Sunday Obaseki, we call on you to just use just 1 or 2 minutes to throw more light on the various other areas in the football value chain. You have the referee, the linesman, all the areas that, and how people can key into all these areas, also develop their skill and make some in a living. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you talk about other personnel. We call them match officials. The match officers, one, it includes the referee, assistant referee 1, assistant referee 2, the 4th official, the referee assessor, and the match commissioner. Now, to be a referee, you have to be from, you have to start from the various grades from your states. Okay, let me give to become a Premier League referee. Maybe you based in let me give it like in Nasarawa State. It's a passion. You may be a young referee from that kindergarten, you grow it up. The passion brought you, just like playing football, it's passion. You go into a referee at a very tender age, you grow from the various kids at the grade, before you can come to become grade 1 in your state. It's passion. To become a match commissioner, like I, for one, I'm going for CAF match commissioning assignment very soon. And a football enthusiast who knows the rules, the rules and regulations of football. Maybe it could be, there are various, it could be basketball. You must know the rules of basketball, the rules of football, which of the particular football we're talking now. It could be Nigerian National League, NNL. It could be the Nigerian Premier Football League club side. You understand the rules, the framework is governing such rules. You become a match commissioner. And there are seminars for it. There are seminars organized every yearly. You may not be a scholar in sports management, no. But I say your passion, your enthusiasm about that particular sport. You go into the match commissioning workshop seminar. It's done every season. On that basis, you become a match commissioner. You go for the course, you pay for it, you write an exam, they score you. If you pass, you are enlisted into the list of becoming a Premier League match commissioner. You now become a part of the match officials I earlier talked about. And you are being paid for if you go for a match. The league pays you. Just like the referee too. From a particular state, it can be from Ogun State, it can be from Kano State. He goes for a match, he's being paid. We call it indemnity. You are paid for it. Those are the match officials aspect I'm talking about. They are also involved in the football activity, in implementing a football match. As you are aware, I am an organizer of the MPFL. I don't go to field often to officiate. There are officials that does that. I only go to coordinate. There are referees that handles football matches, FIFA referees, grade 1 referees. Everybody have a role to play in football. Both the coach, the administrators, the match officials, the referee I talk about, the match commissioners, everybody have a role. Even the community have a role. The police have a role. The medical doctor have a role. The lawyer, the legal body have a role. It's a broad and expanded business that every sector have a role to play in football, in sports generally. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Sonny. That was very elaborate. Yeah. Ibrahim Oloko. Just 1 minute, please, so that we can go.
Yeah, my question is this. I want to be clear about the match commissioner. For example, I've always thought it's only the retired referees that are qualified to be match commissioners, but I'm getting at that now. And I'm very, very interested in that. So what are the processes I have to undergo I want to become a match commissioner?
Yes, over to you, Dr. Sonny. Let me unmute you. Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. It's a very fundamental question. Yes. To be a match commissioner, one, we assess the personality. Do you have a job? It's a hobby. It's not a profession.
Yeah.
To be a referee is not it's a hobby. Even the FIFA referees, you must have a job. To be a match, you can be a banker. Oh, let me know he's a banker. You can be an engineer, and when you don't have a side function, you're a match commissioner, your passion. And the knowledge, I talk about the knowledge of the game also, of the framework, the rules governing that sport. Let me be specific. This is football now. You are acquainted with the rules, and you attended the seminar. You may not be a Premier League man, you may be an amateur man. You grow from that ladder. You are just coming today to become. You cannot be a Premier League match commissioner. No, you must start from the nationwide league. From nationwide, after like 2 seasons or once, you have been promoted to Nigerian National League, NNL. Maybe after 3 or 4 seasons in that particular league, you have done well based on the league assessment of your reporting. Because there's one aspect of being reportage of your match you commissioned, the way you write, the way you coordinate the pre-match meeting proceedings, the way you carry yourself, your charisma, the way you coordinate a match. People assess you. I think we are there. We'll be looking at it. We will not talk. We're assessing you. The way your knowledge of the framework governing that particular league. Are you acquainted with it? Do you know what to do? There is crisis. If a referee falls on a collapse, do you know what to do? And also, not all referees, retired referees, are match commissioners. No. There is a law in place last 3 seasons whereby all retired referees were now made to become an assessor, assessing referees' performance in a match.
Okay.
In the past, referees were match commissioners, but due to some certain factors in our match situations, the Nigerian football have to review that all referees have to become a referee assessor, having to go through some seminars and workshops before they become a referee assessor. Then individuals who has passion for football, who has pedigree, who has jobs, you don't want to send somebody to a field who will go and compromise with reputations. A commissioner of police, some of them are match commissioners with us, with the Premier, with the Apex League in Nigeria. They are. Lawyers are match commissioners. Commissioner of police, yes. Military personnel, they are match commissioners. Even referees, yes. Let me give an instance. A game in this weekend match, United versus Plage United. The general is the senior referee of that match. A civil military officer is the center referee for that match. He's with a military background, but passion brought him to become a Premier League. It's a FIFA referee. Now it's a FIFA. It's FIFA badge. Yes, I don't want to mention his name now. He's going to handle the match in Akure this Sunday. Kwara United versus Nasarawa United. You understand? As earlier mentioned, I said your passion lingers. This is sports. This is football. Your passion paved way for you, open doors for you, and you grows it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. It's after 9. We might just take one more question from the last question from Ibrahim Oloko, and we'll be getting ready to pass from here. Ibrahim Oloko, do you have a question to ask? Or you are just raising up?
Yeah, the last I live in Ibadan, Oyo State. I'm a PE teacher and a tennis coach. I've been a referee before. So I retired from grade 1 level from Abeokuta Society. But I'm seriously interested in becoming match commissioner. Who do I go and see in Ibadan? For example.
Yes, thank you very much. You have to see your state FA chairman, and you must have been commissioning matches in your state federation cup. Ibadan today, they have your record. They have done their national. They have done their state federation cup. Shooting Stars must have won it now. Yes, you must start from your state council. Yes. Thereafter, your state football chairman or the secretary have to now send your name to Abuja as having commission matches in so many matches in your state locality there. He will now recommend you to become a National League or an amateur or a Premier League match commissioner. Having assessed your performance on your reportage, on your conduct, having assessed you, he will as well do a recommendation to the chairman of Match Commissioners Committee. Thereafter, you'll be invited for a seminar before the commencement of the league. We call it pre-season preparations, pre-season activities. It involves the match commissioning seminar, playing friendly match, various seminars, workshops for medical doctors, match commissioners, for media personnel, those that report sports. There are various seminars. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sunday. We'll just give you, okay, we'll talk to Coach Gard. We don't want to stay too long here. We're supposed to leave here by 9 or before 9. But as usual, soccer and sports is always something that takes attention. That's on. So, Coach Gard, please, just 1 minute, a word of advice to round off this program. What do you have to say to close this program?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. What you're doing here is just the best you can do for humanity.
Thank you.
This program will go a long way to helping people who want to be part of the sports world, whether football or any other sports. I want to implore people to be part of it and let them not lose hope of becoming whatever thing they want to be, either whether through their passion or whether they want to be professionally involved or recreationally involved. People should hang on to being part of sports. It helps a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Sunday Obaseki, are you there? Just 1 minute let's round off the program with a word from you.
Football is a big business. If you have an academy, mind you, nobody can steal your player. Have a TMS account. That is have a transfer matching system introduced by FIFA. Nobody can take that talent you have trained, you have invested your time with, you have invested your money buying pure water after training, and then you buy them boots, that you transport them from a vehicle where they are coming from. Mind you, when you register if you have an academy, have a FIFA Connect. Have a FIFA, all of them have FIFA Connect number. Nobody can take that player from you. Please, mind you, have an account. So if you are transferring a player, maybe Joseph is going to Enugu Rangers. Yes, FIFA sees it is your player. If there's a further movement of that player to AC Milan tomorrow, there is a feedback money for you, my dear brother and sisters. Mind you, it's a big business. Nobody can steal your property. Never. It's your asset. With that FIFA Connect number, it's a global number. There's no two number with FIFA ID number of your player in that academy. It's your asset. It's your property. It's your investment. Go for it. Get it. It is wow. Win-win-win for everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, our two honorable guests. John Untan, please, I think we need to meet in the class on WhatsApp because time has gone, and we'll discuss further on what you just posted. No problem about that. We'll talk about that on the WhatsApp group. Please feel free to do that tomorrow morning. Ladies and gentlemen, come to the end of this program. I want to thank you for your time. Sorry, we overstepped our time limit, but I want to believe it's worth it. And the recorded Zoom will be sent to everybody to watch the class tonight or tomorrow morning. And certificates too will be made ready. We'll post in the class telling you when your certificate will be ready. Very likely tomorrow too. So tomorrow will be a big day for everybody. We are happy to have you, and want to believe that we'll be having more classes like this, bigger classes that will even cover other areas. Thank you. God bless you all, and stay blessed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir. Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We meet
Bye.
tomorrow.